And round two of Kansas school districts versus lawmakers in front of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, the court will once again hear arguments on school funding and whether a new bill passed in March equally funds both poor and rich districts.
41 Action News reporter Brian Abel is here now. So, Brian, how did we get to this point where school closings are on the line?
Well, guys, it started back in 2010, June of 2010, when the court case of Gannon versus Kansas was filed. The lawsuit claims a school funding model set by lawmakers in Topeka, it violated Article 6 of the Kansas Constitution. Now, their claim, it was confirmed in January of 2013 by a three-judge panel that ruled Kansas lawmakers did not live up to their constitutional duty to equitably fund public schools in the state. Now, after a handful of moves, including a new budget bill, lawmakers failed another judicial test in February of this year, where the court ordered lawmakers to get back to work finding a way to fairly distribute state aid to school districts. Then in March, the legislature went back to work crafting and passing a bill which redistributes $83 million in annual aid. That's the bill the Supreme Court will look at to see if it satisfies the court order. Now that brings us to today. After passing that funding bill, lawmakers called it quits for this session, but this is of course pending the Supreme Court's decision, which is anticipated to come down around June 1st. That's the ceremonial last day of this session's legislature, which could turn into a scrambling special session if the court doesn't rule in their favor. Now, the deadline set by the justices to equitably fund schools is June 30th. Otherwise, there won't be a constitutionally valid school finance system for the fiscal year in place. That starts July 1st, and public schools in Kansas, they won't open. Patrick, Lindsay.